If you've ever sensed that this world isn't truly your home, you need to see this. Have you ever looked around and felt different? Not better, not worse, just set apart. Like you were watching the world through a lens no one else seemed to have. Everyone laughs, plays along, chases things, but something in you just doesn't quite fit. If you've ever felt this, there's a reason. You might not be broken. You might be chosen. But chosen for what? And how can you be sure? There are unmistakable marks brands, carved not on your skin, but in your soul. Today, we'll reveal 7 of them. If you recognize even a few, your life is about to make a lot more sense. And by the end, you won't be wondering if you're chosen. You'll know. But before we dive into the first mark, ask yourself this. Why does my spirit refuse to surrender, even when everything else says I should? The answer is hidden in the fire you carry. Mark number 1, a fire that won't go out. Even in your darkest seasons, something inside you refuses to die. Maybe you've cried on your floor at 2 a.m. Maybe you've lost everything more than once. But still, you're here. Still rising. Still breathing. Still searching. That search? It's not aimless. It's the flame. The chosen carry a sacred fire, a knowing that they were meant for something more. Even when surrounded by doubt, they can't silence that inner pull. And when logic says give up, the fire whispers, just one more step. Have you ever felt driven by something you can't explain? That wasn't delusion. That was destiny. If you feel that fire burning, just wait until you see how trials have shaped your soul. The next mark runs even deeper. Mark number 2, trials that shape you. You weren't given an easy path. Life has tested you relentlessly. People left, plans crumbled, doors slammed. But looking back, you weren't being punished. You were being prepared. The chosen don't break, they transform. In ancient tribes, only the wounded could become shamans. Why? Because pain teaches what comfort never could. And you? You carry wisdom in your scars. What if your suffering was actually sacred? What if you were never meant to avoid the fire, but to become it? Have you ever felt completely alone, even in a room full of people? That loneliness holds a secret. Mark number 3, isolation that awakens you. You've felt it, the sense of being an outsider. Maybe you're in a crowd and still feel invisible. Maybe you've always struggled to belong. Here's the truth, the chosen don't belong. Not to systems, not to superficial circles. Because they are here to build something new. This loneliness isn't a curse. It's a cocoon. And what emerges from a cocoon doesn't return to the earth. It takes flight. Your isolation wasn't rejection. It was redirection. Your soul tribe is coming, but only once you fully step into you. Still with me? Good. Because the deeper signs are coming next. You've seen behind the curtain. You've sensed truths others deny. The next brand will explain why. Mark number 4, vision that cuts through illusio. You can see what others miss. You spot the lie behind the smile. You sense when something isn't real, whether in people, media, or culture. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. That's not cynicism. That's clarity. Your gift is discernment, and it makes people uncomfortable. Because your very presence challenges the illusion they've built. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to wake others up. The truth is your sword. Use it wisely. Ever felt the universe whisper to you? The next mark will show you it's been speaking all along. Mark number 5, signs, symbols, and synchronicities. The universe speaks to you. Not in loud announcements, but in whispers, repeating numbers, dreams that come true. People showing up right when you need them. Others call it coincidence. But you know better. Your life is a conversation with the divine. And when you listen, the guidance gets louder. Have you ever felt the universe nudge you? That wasn't chance. That was alignment. The signs are growing louder. The fire is rising. The call is getting harder to ignore. Will you answer? Mark number 6. A soul urged to serve. You can't just live for yourself. No matter how much you try to stay silent, your heart aches to help, to heal, to lead. Not from ego, but from essence. You give advice even when no one asks. You uplift even when you're hurting. You light candles in the dark even when no one sees you. The chosen carry medicine in their spirit, and your mere presence shifts people. Your mission may be hidden, but the call is already loud. When you follow it, your whole world will align. You've carried more than your fair share of storms. The next mark proves you were never just meant to survive, you were meant to reign. Mark number 7. Resilience that defies logic. Let's be honest, you should have given up, but you didn't. You've buried dreams, lovers, hopes, and still you stand. You don't bounce back. You rise different, stronger, softer, wiser. Because your spirit doesn't just survive, it transcends. You've become the storm and the shelter. Others crumble. You convert pain into purpose. That's not survival. That's sovereignty. Think you've seen all the marks? There's one more, and it changes everything. Mark number 8. The mirror effect. When you walk into a room, things shift. People feel seen, exposed, awakened. Sometimes they react with love, other times with fear. Why? Because you reflect their truth. Chosen ones are mirrors. Your light reveals shadows not because you judge them, but because you remind them of what they've forgotten. And your energy activates their own calling. If people feel uneasy around you, it's not you. It's what you awaken in them. That's power, and it must be wielded with love. Each of these brands is a code signature of your soul. You don't need to carry all of them. Even one is enough to start your journey. The truth is, you've always been chosen. Not by a voice in the sky, but by the call inside your own chest. And now comes the moment, not to wonder if you're chosen, but to decide, will you choose to be? Close your eyes, feel the fire pulsing inside you. It was never extinguished, only waiting. Breathe in deeply, and whisper to yourself, not I hope, but I choose. Because you were never lost, you were gathering your wings. This isn't the end of your search. It's the beginning of your rising. The door is open, the signs are clear. The brands have already been marked on your soul. You don't need permission. You don't need proof. You just need the courage to remember who you are. So now we ask you, not am I worthy, but am I willing? If this message found you, it wasn't by chance. And if you feel the fire rising, share this with someone else who carries the mark. They've been waiting for a sign. You are the sign. And together, we rise.